Right, so welcome back to Marketing 100. Today we're at the Mango Meet conference, and I'm not here with Cale today, but I'm here with Ian, who is a professional photographer, has been doing photography for years, and is also the person behind this YouTube channel who is editing all the videos that you're viewing on this channel. We want to share a few tips today on how you can level up your photography so that you can share better content on your social media channel. So welcome here, Ian.
Hey, thank you for having me, John.
Great. So I want to pick your brain on most practical things that a business owner who's running a local business, a salon business, a barbershop, to level up their photography. What would be your top 3 things?
So the biggest thing that will make a difference in your images and the photos that you're capturing is going to be lighting. All right. Yeah. And there are, some simple tips, tricks, pointers that you can do that can be on a budget. The quickest, easiest way to get better lighting on your photos is to take them in front of a window. Okay. Yeah. Daylight is the best light that you can have for most situations, and don't be afraid of a cloudy day. A softbox is something that goes on top of a light that makes it less harsh, creates fewer shadows, and if you're on a cloudy day, that's nature's softbox. You can get some of the nicest images of people and skin when it's a cloudy day. So don't worry if the sun's shining, just open that window, get next to it, and take photos of your clients, yourself, whatever you want to capture by that open window. And another easy to find and cheap solution would be a ring light. Okay, they're all over the place. You can get them on, I'm not plugging anyone, but you can put it on, find them on multiple websites all over the place. Yeah. They're very affordable. And what a ring light does is it emulates a style of lighting called clamshell lighting. All right, that would be light coming from above and below. So what it does is it evens out any shadows that could be on your face. You won't get any raccoon eyes. Yeah. You won't have harsh shadows under your chin or anything like that. And it is spectacular for beauty shots in particular.
Okay. So let me just double click on that a bit. Yeah. So, because I know you have all the equipment in the world, all the, I don't know, you're geeking out completely on that. But so even when you have those great lighting equipment, would you still prefer the natural light from a window or something over using that, or
I think it depends on the space that you're in. Dark colors don't reflect light. Yeah. White and light colors do. So if you're in a darker space, you may want to have a ring light, something extra. However, if you have a very brightly colored space, then opening up that window, that light is going to bounce off multiple surfaces in your space, and it's going to give you a phenomenal amount of light at no additional cost other than I move the shade, right?
Okay, cool. All right, so that's the most important thing, is it?
Absolutely.
That's the light. Yeah. Okay. So what would be the second thing to consider?
Yeah, so number 2 is framing, okay? Mm-hmm. So you want to make sure that your subject, the person or the focal point of your image. In this case, in our examples here, we're talking about people. We're talking about services that you provide to people. You want to make sure that person is in the middle of a frame, taking up the majority of the space. There's not a lot of negative space, as in, we're on camera right now. I'm going to step out for just a second. Okay. Now all that space next to you, where I was, that's negative space, okay? Okay. Yeah. And now I'm here again. We are both the subject of this. Yeah. There's not a lot of negative space. We're taking up a lot of the frame here. Mm-hmm. And you can also see we're close to the top of our frame. That's called headroom. You don't want to have too much headroom. You don't want to have your people all the way down here, all right? You want to have them taking up a lot of that frame.
That's a classic beginner mistake. I feel when I watch YouTube channels and stuff, when people set out, you kind of think that you should be in the middle of the picture. Yeah. And it kind of looks a little bit weird, right? So you should kind of be like we are now, I guess, fairly close to the top.
Yeah. You want to, and there's 2 of us here, so I would shoot this a little bit differently if it was just one of us. But typically speaking, you want to take up as much of the frame as you can. There are exceptions to that rule. If you're doing a piece for marketing, or you're planning on making some type of social media post where you want negative space because you're going to put text there, then absolutely have that negative space. But if you're doing before and after photos of some type of treatment that you've done, then absolutely make sure that your subject is taking up as much of that frame as possible.
First, lighting, most important. Second, framing, how to frame the picture. Mm-hmm. So what would be number 3 after
Number
that?
3 is posing, okay? And you can do this with minimal effort, all right? Very simple things are to, maybe make sure that the camera's a little bit above somebody, just a hair. Instead of shooting below, you shoot below, you get some nasty chin action, okay? And that's the biggest complaint that people have when you take photos of them. They don't like the way their jawline or their chin ends up looking on camera, okay? So the 2 T's that I use whenever I'm doing portrait photography are turtle and tongue, okay? I know it sounds weird, okay? But turtle essentially is like, you kind of want people to stretch their neck out a little bit and put their head forward. It looks a little bit weird on this video right now. You're at a side, but if you're looking directly into a camera or someone's dead on, then it ends up giving you a little bit more shape to your jaw. And then the other one is tongue. And when I say tongue, I mean pressing your tongue against the roof of your mouth. And what that does is it brings up the skin right here, and angles can make you look like you have 4 or 5 chins, okay? So that's a way shooting above, stretching your neck out a little bit, and tongue against the roof of your mouth. That's a way to eliminate the biggest issue that people have with photos of themselves that other people take, is gonna be a perception of multiple chins, okay? So posing, and then, I would say if you're going to post anything to social media, you've posed this person, you've lit them, you've framed them well, show it to them. Make sure that they're okay with it, okay? Because the last thing you want is to post something publicly that makes someone feel negative in any way about themselves.
And especially if it's your clients, right? It's really important. But I mean, ideally also, like if we go into like the social sharing of this content, it's almost even better if the client takes the photo themselves, right? Or that it's on their camera, so when they leave, they're more likely to like share and mention your business.
With that in mind, you can set up space in your space, specifically for photos, for client photos, all right? You can have a ring light that's just set up over to the side. Maybe you pull it out, or maybe it's at a particular mirror at all times, and you're like, hey, let's come on over to the selfie chair, right? And when people take their photos and hopefully post them online, you ask to be tagged. You ask to be, maybe there's a hashtag that you're using or something like that. There's a lot of ways that you can not take the photos yourself, but with these tips in mind, you can help people take better photos of themselves.
So those were the like 3 tips, really like the DIY tips, let's say, like if you're gonna do this yourself, which in many cases you should. Would you have anything to say of like, okay, when should you not actually do it yourself, and it's better to get someone like, one of your colleagues to like come in and to do it for you?
Content creation, photography, videography, these are things that may seem abstract in the immediate, but showing that you have taken the time and the care to show off your space and your craft at a very high level, people respect. It gives your business an air of prestige, and you can start booking more clients a lot of times just by showcasing at a high level your space or the work that you've done. So when you want to bring in a professional on the photography side, I would say when you have a space that's set up, maybe you have just opened your doors, or maybe you've done, hey, we just remodeled this one part of it. You know what? We just painted again. We really want to show off this new area. Have a real estate photographer come in, okay? And just capture your space in HDR, high dynamic range photos that show off every single aspect of it, very much in focus. Very well lit. I think we've all been on, name one of the real estate apps. You've looked through and seen houses that you could never afford. Those types of photos. Real estate photographers are great to come in and do. You can also have maybe a content day where you have a photographer come in, and maybe you're like, hey, we have this particular service that we want to showcase. You're selling it, right? So spend some money on it. If it's going to make you money, spend some money on it, okay? Have a photographer come in and do professional before and afters of your signature service, right? Make sure that it's the highest quality you possibly can, because the best camera anyone has is the one that's in their pocket, right? Just because it's so quick and easy, but it doesn't give that air of prestige. You cannot necessarily sell people on a cell phone photo, but if you spend the time and show off at a very high quality, the high quality work that you are doing, people will flock to you over time. And that investment in a professional photographer will pay off exponentially if you keep those photos to the forefront of your website or pinned to whatever social media content that you have.
Awesome, love that. That's great. So there's a lot of valuable tips in here. I felt I learned many new things, like the tongue. I'm already like starting to do the tongue post. It's just hard to talk and do the tongue post at the same time. Yes. But anyway, a ton of value in there. I hope you got something out of that as well that you feel you can take back to your business to level up your photography so that you can share higher quality content on your social accounts and just have like better imagery to present your business and your services. So thanks a lot for joining for this one today, Ian.
Sure,
I appreciate that a lot. And we look forward to seeing you inside of an upcoming video.